So as I was mentioning, Lane couldn't be with us this morning. He's en route or has just arrived in New Mexico, I think it is, for a business meeting that he has out there. But he did do a short video for us to talk about the membership committee and their focus. So if we could play Lane's recording.
Hey, aloha everyone. Lane Kohama here, District Membership Chair for Rotary. And I'm going to cover 3 things the membership team will focus on in 2022 and 2023 in Randy's year. Let's begin. Leveraging the power of AGs. When I was AG, I had a great time. It was really fun, and working with the clubs was really awesome. And AGs, you folks you got the pulse. So you are the pulse and the heart of the clubs. You're there with the president, both you and the presidents, the membership chairs, all the members, but you have that pulse, I believe the AGs do. And I feel, hey, it'd be great to do a check-in with the AGs monthly. And I would like to see, hey, what's going on in your area with your clubs? Why is it happening? Like, why did a project succeed? Why are they getting more members? Why are they having challenges? Those kind of things that we can all help each other out. And how is that happening? I think that's really important. The second thing is having processes and procedures. I believe that if you have processes and procedures in place, even for membership, it'll be very helpful. So for example, when I was president, I'm like, okay, I'm president, now what, right? You've been on committees, but you're not sure where to go, what to do. And membership, like for example, you have a process and procedure, to onboard a new member. What do? You give them a member packet? Do you do a fireside chat? How do you introduce them to the club? And what steps do you have to retain them? Do you call them once a quarter, for example? Is that your process and procedure that keeps your members engaged and staying with your club? So this book here, The E-Myth, it's all about processes and procedures, and they talk about great companies can replicate themselves and be successful, like McDonald's or Starbucks. You go into any of these franchises, you know that the product you're going to get, like a cup of coffee, will be the same if you bought it somewhere else in another country. Now, this Radical U is an online trade school for entrepreneurs, and initiated by Gerber, that wrote the E-Myth book. And he said it helps entrepreneurs acquire a systems-oriented approach to their business. And having a business like myself for 19 years, in order to scale a business and scale your club to be successful, you have to, when you scale it and you grow, it's definitely processes and procedures are going to be right there with you. Number 3. Oh, sorry. Before number 3, BNI is a great example. If you're not sure what BNI is, it's a business networking organization, and that is the founder that I'm there with. The third thing is the Tiger Team. What a Tiger Team is not this team. It's coaching, motivation, training, advice, help, mentoring, leadership, direction, success, develop, and inspire. And all of these things, can happen. You're like, wait, Lane, you still haven't told me what that Tiger Team is. The Tiger Team is a team that is the membership team. And if you folks need any mentoring help for your club in, mentoring for what could help you with membership, we have challenges growing our membership or retaining membership, or, hey, you know what? We're doing great in membership. We just want more tips, advice, maybe some training on that. And our team can help. So if your club, next month is membership month in August, if your club wants to get any assistance, any help, please reach out to our membership team, and we'll be more than happy to help you. And we will be doing presentations in August, and we have limited spots available to present at your club. So let us know if you want us to do a presentation for your club and be a speaker. We'll be right there. And then let's make Jennifer's year a success, All right, President Jennifer Jones. And hey, let's make this guy's year a success. And other than that, thank you so much for all your help, all your commitment in Rotary. And please let the membership team know whatever help you need, we are here for you. Okay, take care now. Aloha.
Welcome back, folks. Lane is a pretty talented guy in putting together that video there. But a couple of things that Lane mentioned that I really like is the Tiger Team approach and their willingness to come to you, for any kind of help or guidance, and to present a membership presentation at your club. So if you're looking for a guest speaker, and membership is one of those things that you need a little help on, or you just want to get better at, please reach out to Laura or Lane, so we can set up a time for them to come and meet with the club, whether it's in person or Zoom. We're willing to do both. I wanted to go over a few things before I turn it over to Win, just so everybody knows where I'm coming from, and those that I've already done my club visit with, that's a little bit redundant. I see Nestor on the line. He heard me talk 4 or 5 times last week, so he's heard this before, and I see Scott's on also, so they both heard it before. But my number one goal for the year is membership. I've been saying that since before pre-pets, emphasized it at pets, and here we are into our year as for 2022, 2023. I'm just going to do as I did whenever I was president, and just become laser focused on membership, because I firmly believe, if you take care of membership, everything else will follow. You'll have people for your projects, you'll have money for your foundation, you'll be able to participate better in international projects. It just goes on and on. Every aspect of what we do in Rotary is obviously based on membership. And just a real brief history, so folks understand why I have such a laser focus on membership, is the district and most of the United States has slid in membership over the last 10 years, and maybe even longer than that. And I can tell even in our district, in 2017, we were a district of about 1,700 members. Today, we're a district of about 1,400 members. So just think about what 300 more members in this district could do for the district as a whole. And sometimes we get caught up in apathy because the numbers are small, that we attrit away from. We lost 35 members last year. We lost 35 members the year before, or whatever the number was. I can tell you we've lost membership, over the last 6 years consecutively. So each year, that number is pretty small, but then those small numbers added up to that 300 number that I just mentioned. So I want to turn the ship in the other direction, and I firmly want to grow membership in District 5000. I think we can do it. I think there's things that we have to do a little bit better than we have in the past, and that's the reason why we have Tiger teams and a lot of focus on those clubs that need some help. And there's nothing wrong with the club needing help, and it didn't happen overnight. But whatever we can do as a district, we're committed to doing that to right side that club. I think we did that with North Hawai'i. I think we did it with Mililani. Both small clubs that had, the ship has turned, and they had significant increases in membership last year. Large clubs did a couple did very, very well. Kaneohe increased their net membership by 12. So did the Eco Club. They both increased their membership by 12. So what are the best practices? What were those folks doing that they were able to turn the ship? and I know for the for North Hawaii and Mililani, it was the laser focus that the PE and the president had on changing that and reinvigorating those clubs. We've got it going on in Maui. You know, we kind of changed the paradigm a little bit on how we're doing things, but you know, thanks to Naomi's efforts and the leaders on Maui, I think we stand a very, very good chance of turning around, you know, the small club over there. We have two that we want to focus some efforts on over there, and we're doing it. So we're making a difference. So I can't emphasize enough, you know, the importance of the Tiger team and the expertise that Laura and Wynn and Lane and all those folks bring to the table. If you need to make a concerted effort on changing. One of the things that I ask all your presidents to do this year, well, first, my goal, which I think is an attainable goal, is I want to grow membership in the district by 10%. And easy math tells you, well, that's 143 net new members, and huge difference between net and bringing in 143 if you lose 160. It's the reason why, you know, we have that decline over the last 6 years. So, but my goal is a net 10% increase come 30 June of next year. So when Mark takes over as district governor, we will have a 10% gain in the membership in District 5000. And I say 1 July, 30 June, because actually it is 1 July, because a lot of times the clubs, you know, the district, we fail to take into consideration what's going to happen in May and June. And it happens every year, but we always seem to kind of forget about it. That, you know, we hit that cliff where we're cleaning our rosters, getting ready for the next year. So we lose, you know, we drop, you know, our members in May, June timeframe. We do it again. We do it in December also, but not nearly as much as we do in May, June. That's why, you know, I talk about the 1 July figure and not where we're at in 1 May, because 1 May it is kind of a false figure that we're working with in 1 May. Obviously, we want to be way up, but we want to take into consideration on 1 May what the average attrition rate was for the district over the last 5 years. And that's the number that we need to be at 1 May, not just to be up. You know, I said I was only going to take 10 minutes, so I'm going to wrap this up really quick. You know, though, I just think it's, you know, what worked for us last year and what will work for us going forward are new clubs, cause-based clubs, and satellite clubs. Those is where we make a big difference in the numbers. Now, changing getting a club to define what their passion is and to leverage PI to get there is equally important. But those are, you know, those are small gains and gains that we must make. Hence the reason why I ask all the presidents or mention to them that they do not have to accept my goal of 10% growth to be their goal. Their goal has to match what the members want and what the club wants. But I did ask every club, all 53 presidents, to make a commitment. You don't have to grow by 10%. You just have a net. You must have a net growth of 1. 1 is a pretty easy number to get your arms around. One is pretty practical, and if every club buys into that commitment and grows by a net of 1, well, we've grown 50. We'll have grown 53 members by the end of the year, and that's what the important piece is to have turned that ship and then have something that Mark and Ted can continue with as they come on during their years as district governor. So with that, that's my 10 minutes that I was allotted. So I'm going to turn it over to Wynn so we get to the meat and potatoes of this meeting.
Thank you, Randy. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
So I'm going to share my screen if you don't mind, and while I get that prepared. I think I know everybody on the call, but if I don't, if everybody doesn't know me, then I was district governor in 2018 and 19. I've been on the membership committee pretty much ever since, and I currently am engaged in membership from the membership leads program. But I thank you for being here. Thank you for giving your time this morning and your talents to grow membership. One of the things that Randy's presentation stuck with me is that grow Rotary and growing our clubs and growing our district is priority one. But I'm not sure that we'll get there if we continue to do the same thing over and over again. So you'll find that this presentation is a little bit different and your opportunities this morning are a little bit different. And I want to spend most of the time with you talking to each other in breakout sessions about how we utilize our resources to invest in our clubs, our time, our talent, our treasure. Are we using those as effectively as we can? Are we using those things in a cognizant manner at all, or a strategic manner? So when clubs have a critical mass, that they solve most of our problems, including burnout, lack of leadership, meal minimums, meeting space, and building our own membership. Those clubs that have a critical mass have an easier time growing than those that don't. So the current state of Rotary membership is 1.4 million members of Rotarians and Rotaractors and 46,000 clubs, essentially the same as last year. As you notice from this graphic, Rotary is growing in Asia and declining in all of the rest of the world. So what do members want? So we know from surveys that Rotarians and Rotaractors have a slightly different priorities in their reasons for joining and staying in Rotary. But generally, they're looking for three things: local service, connections with others, and professional leadership development. When we ask former members why they left, many cite unmet expectations. And 30% of current members say they are not satisfied with their club experience. Through these surveys, we've also discovered that compelling connection between member satisfaction and member retention. Feeling welcomed by and comfortable with other club members is the single most important variable when it comes to both membership satisfaction and membership retention. As comfort is increased, the probability of having a higher satisfaction with membership is increased. And that goes not just for members, but for other organizations that we partner with and reach out to in the community, including our speakers. So we can learn a lot from successful businesses. And Lane kind of connected with that. Highly successful businesses do certain things to maintain their edge. Some of them are that they keep their product and service fresh. They update and renovate. They maintain existing equipment and spaces. They educate and advance their people. These are just some of the things that they do, but all of them require an investment from the owners of the business. And one key ingredient that we can all get behind is that in Rotary, we need to have fun. More fun, the better, right? So how do we invest in our own clubs? Most of us do it without thinking or planning. It is not a strategic way that we allocate resources. And those resources are common. We use them: time, talent, and treasure. And for most of us, our time, talent, and treasure has limits for what we can give to Rotary. So the question is, as a club leader, how can I be more effective in my deployment of or use of time, talent, and treasure as we focus on membership? Here's some questions to stimulate some thought. Do I mostly plan out my use of time, or do I react to known events? Am I an effective delegator? Do I follow up? How do I analyze the talent in my club? And do I make effective use of that talent by delegating? What are my talents? If membership is priority one, how much money is in my club budget to support membership growth? And if I don't have a lot of club funds, what are some other resources I can tap into to support membership? So this morning, we're going to have 2 distinctive breakout sessions with 3 breakout rooms, 10 minutes each, followed by a short summation by whoever the room leader is. Each breakout room should choose a leader to provide a summary, write down ideas as you hear them, and then engage each other and ask follow-up questions on ideas that you like. There will be a short time between breakout sessions for the room to share, for the room leader to share ideas. After the second session, we'll have a short amount of time, or you'll have some time to write down. And this is the ultimate goal of today's training or whatever, education, is that we'd like you to walk away from here with at least 3 ideas or goals to share with your club membership committee on how you will improve new member attraction and membership retention of existing and new members. We probably have about 45 minutes total. So each breakout room, choose a leader and provide a summation. Write down ideas as you hear them and ask follow-up questions. So the breakout rooms are going to be, session 1 is on how do I attract new members? And breakout room number 1, your focus, your lane is on time. What are the best practices for effective use of club and member time in attracting new members? Breakout room number 2, your lane, your subject is talent. What are the best practices for using the district talent in attracting new members? And it's room number 3 is focused on treasure. What are the best practices in using club and financial resources to attract new members? You will be in the same breakout room. You'll be in the same breakout room for session number 2, which will be on retaining new and existing members with the same focus of time, talent, and treasure. And then session 3, or the end of the training today, will be focused on Imagineering time, which is for you to write down 3 ideas or goals that you will bring to your club to support your club's growth. And then share your ideas and goals. We'll have some time to share with the whole group with some of your ideas. And then last but not least, I want to make sure that you know that I have the time to spend with you this morning after the session, and I will stay on if you have any questions. All right. So Naomi, if you would please, I will stop the share, and I don't know what happened to my video, but I'm. So what did you take away from that? So what did you take away from that, Ted?
Well, I also see that we don't always think about in our clubs what is our investment with regard to membership and planning that in our budgets. One of the things, there's a Rotarian in Australia who's written a book called Creatures of Habit. And he's studied clubs that are stagnant or declining membership in particular. And he said, if we think about this as we think about running our businesses, If your business is declining or stagnant, it's either because you have the wrong product, you have the wrong marketing, or you have the wrong customer experience, or some combination of those three.
And what's interesting
So-
is,
Go ahead.
I think what's interesting is when our product is, or when our business is in decline, we tend to pull back even further rather than investing in the right places. We try to go, oh, we have the wrong product. Oh, we have the, we're not doing this. We don't. And oftentimes that comes from not reinvesting in our people, not reinvesting in making sure that our what our product is what people want.
Right.
And yeah, so that's perfect.
And of course, product and marketing in particular speak to attracting new members, and customer experience in particular speaks to retaining your
Perfect.
existing.
I hope you'll share that.
I think I just did.
Was it with the whole group? Is everybody back?
Everybody is back.
Ooh, everybody's back. So thank you, everybody. So I'm going to ask you to a few minutes, and Naomi can pick and choose because she's got everybody in focus. People to share a couple of ideas, a couple of thoughts on their breakout session.
Okay, breakout room number 1 on time. There was Carol Reynolds, Eva, Kimo, Laura, maybe Laura.
Yeah, I was
Actually,
in,
we all got together and Scott was elected our leader, so he's going to report out for us.
Right.
yeah, so some of the stuff that we talked about in how do we invest in our club to attract new members. And Nancy had some great things. They were kind of hoping to pull in 8 new members here in the near future, but they're kind of piggybacking on their big monster brew fest that they did. So a lot of their attendees that came to that are going to be people that they're inviting to some of their events, club meetings, social gatherings. I mean, it sounds like they've got an action-packed setup, for everything from games to doing pickleball and so forth. But they've been meeting as a membership committee on a weekly basis, which is pretty, it's pretty good. And then I think they're going to taper that down to maybe once a month. And so, that being said, it sounds like they've got their game together pretty tight. Their goal is to get 30 members. Or I wasn't sure if that was to have 30 members or to get 30 members, but they're going to be a tough act to follow. And then Gail was saying that, acknowledging or recognizing club members when they've actually brought a guest, that's something that we probably need to do a little bit more of. And then Kimo had mentioned, and I liked his saying, maybe Ben Franklin once said, a member saved is a member earned. Or, maybe that was $1 saved was $1 earned, but they're really focusing quite a bit on the corporate model. And so what the corporate model used to be was, it used to be that the boss was the member, and then there was 2 people that would come and be a part of the group. But in this particular case, they're going to recognize 3 members, and or actually all 3 of those corporate members as members. And they want to target businesses. And that's something that I've actually been pretty excited about in the past, has been really targeting some of the businesses, in our neck of the woods. I mean, I just feel like business owners should really be a part of it, or anybody working for the business in the community that wants to see their community thrive really should be a part of Rotary. So I really like what Kimo had said there. And my little take was, I think doing some group, teaming up with other Rotary groups, right? Because sometimes the DNA of each club is a little different. Some clubs might be a little bit younger than other clubs. And it might just be good to have a good social event so that when potential, people that might join Rotary can look around and go, oh, wow, there is a pretty big demographic of members of Rotary across the board. So that's all I got.
I'd have to add, Scott, that your little boy is a very good example of how to attract new members.
Exactly.
He's like, pay attention, pay
He's never gonna be a
attention.
member.
Yes.
He wants to be so involved, so involved.
He does. I apologize for that.
No, don't
no,
apologize.
no,
No,
that's
stop,
fine.
stop. No,
That's so
don't
cute. How
apologize.
old is he? How old is he?
He'll be 4 in November.
Okay,
So
well, we know he loves you. He's so cute.
yeah, my wife is with my other one at gymnastics, and so I'm babysitting, but he got sick of watching TV out there, so he's in here to climb on top of me at my apex moment of talking to you guys.
Yeah, but I think it's fine. It's fine because it made me think, look at this child. He's got so much to give. Not that he's annoying or whatever. He's got so much to give. So if you look at a new member or a guest that way, then let's use that as an example of how we can bring them in. I
love that.
And don't give up. Keep hitting them in the back of the head till they come in.
Thank you for being here, Scott. So room number 2.
Okay, that's talent, right? And
Yes,
because I suggested that
Randy.
that Randy be our spokesperson, he said no. So anyway, I got elected. What we thought of, or what I thought of from our club, the Rotary Club of Hilo, personality is a talent. And just to point out, Nancy, Jeannie Phillips, she has such a warm, loving personality, and she just makes people feel really welcome. So whenever we have a guest, she'll sit by them and talk to them, and they want to come back. So I think personality is a talent. And somebody talked about, okay, Randy, you talked about getting people organized and having socials. Well, we have the bad boys table, right, Randy? Anyway, we have a table at our club that they they organize all of our socials. And of course, during the socials, we all, and they're really good at doing that. They're very organized, and so we have fun. We have chili night and chicken heka. Of course, during COVID, we didn't have that, but so that's one thing. Finding passion. Nalani, you mentioned finding passion, right? Hello? Oh,
sorry. I had to, yes, I did say that very briefly. Pairing people is important, people that they can have fun with, that have things in common, and they feel comfortable and share that same passion of service. And that's important, as a new member, when they come in, they're trying to get their feet wet, trying to learn all this acronyms and everything and the structure and all. And just finding that one person, almost like a mentor or a big brother, big sister to talk story with. And that's always important, because that interaction will tell that person a lot about the club, of what they do, why they are there, and how they can invest their time and be used for the purpose of improvement in their community.
So we have a group called Go Cook 'em. We fashioned after Auntie Mariolani's kitchen. We cook weekly for the Hawaii Island Home for Recovery in Hilo. It's a recovering addicts, and I guess we don't know too much about the residents, but so cooking is a talent, right? So we get together and it's a group that really bonded. So we invite people who are guests at our meeting to come. And this past Thursday, we did have a young lady that came, and we need young people in our club. And she really enjoyed it. She had so much fun. So we got her application, and it's going through the queue right now. So I guess that could be something. And what you mentioned about getting involved into community projects, we just went all over the place in discussing. But attracting new members, I think our friends, just, I don't know, our club, Nancy has great goals for our club. You know, she wants to have 30 new members come in because we lost 10 members, you know, for various reasons. They moved away or, you know, and then we figure we might lose another 10. So in order to net 10, we need to get 30. So we really started off, a lot of energy put into it. Okay. Anybody else from our group?
Very well done, Helene.
Yeah, and that's a great point. You need to bring in 30 to net, because you know there will be turnover. Hopefully it's not as much, and we can work on that. Randy?
No, that's
okay.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
good to go.
All right, so group 3. Yep.
Sorry.
No.
When can we have an agreement that we're going to go overtime because it's 10 to 10 already, and we still have another breakout, and that breakout session to come up with goals is going to be really important. So
I am happy to stay as long as is desired. For those that need to leave, then perhaps they can, but I'd like to go ahead and continue the sessions for those that want to or can. I think really having a conversation on retention and how we can leverage our resources for retention would be very valuable. So I'm happy to stay, and if everybody that can stay will, appreciate that. Do you want to go right into that session then, since we're running low on time, or do you want to have the opportunity for room 3 to share?
So group 3, just to be fair, just a few more minutes. So who's the speaker for group 3?
And let's keep it succinct and tight.
Easy. Okay. So first thing we tried to do was define treasure. I went right to the literal thing. How can we use our money? And we were a little bit stumped. Basically advertising, getting our mission out there, recruiting through the media. Mark brought in a really good point. He says we got great community service projects, but we're not advertising them well enough. Well, maybe we could use some of that money via, some of it's free. We can go through social media, or we can actually get stuff, pay for advertising on in a publication, in a paper. Not only that, I'm thinking of something as well, is pre-publicizing a community service event, just like your cooking thing you talked about. I don't know how you recruited that lady, but pre-publicizing, we struggle getting Rotarians to show up. But surprisingly, through another we get some pretty good media coverage. I'll try to make this really, we've been on the headlines for our last 2 projects at West Hawaii Today, and the amount of people that have called me since to want to participate has been really good. So if we pre-publicize and said, this is what we're doing, this is a Rotary function, looking for volunteers, call me, boom, that's an idea. And then if they like what we're doing, we introduce them to Rotary. Lila brought up a really good point, treasure. Rotary is a treasure. We got to come, Lila's thing was each Rotary club should come up with their own mission statement, so that when someone traps you or someone gets you in an elevator, you can tell them what your club's all about, real succinctly. And then I'll just leave it this. So my thing as president is, and Mike from Hilo brought up something really, really important. When he came into Rotary, Rotary wasn't really well explained to him. He didn't have anybody mentoring him. He had to try, and now he's president. I think you're president, Mike. But he's done this all on his own, and he's just trying to think of, so he's learned all about Rotary, but my mission as president is to really hammer away every meeting, talk about the different functions of Rotary, talk about the foundation, make it a big point. I can go on and on, but it's really to explain Rotary on a weekly basis, what we're all about, what the different entities are all about, and how they can participate. That's it.
Thank you, Scott. Education is definitely an important part of Rotary, especially when it comes to retention. And that leads us really into the second session. We'll go back into the same breakout rooms with the same people. And what I'd really ask you to do is try and stay in the same, in your lane, if you will, with conversation on time for room 1, talent for room 2, and treasure for room 3, as related to how do we improve our retention of members in our clubs. Thank you, Naomi.
Okay, and they come, you want them to come up with 3 goals, right?
So we'll do that after this session, after
Okay.
the session of conversation. We'll come back out and we can spend some time putting down 3 goals, and then an opportunity for them to maybe share some of their goals with each other over that time, because I think sometimes we pick up on a goal that I hadn't really thought about before. So,
Okay.
Great.
Okay, 10 minutes or 7
10 minutes
minutes?
would be great.
Okay, opening rooms.
The most.
We didn't follow directions again in our group.
That's okay. It's Rotary. I don't think anybody sends you home for not following direction.
Herding cats, right, Randy?
That's it.
Good morning, Lila.
Good morning.
Okay, people, you can start putting in your goals into this whiteboard. So click the T, and then a box will open up. You type in your goal.
T.
The T on the left for text.
Okay.
So for this part of the session, we'd like you to put down in writing some of your goals, and so that they are in writing and other people can see them and share. But it doesn't need to be a whole lot. I mean, 1, 2, or 3 goals, something that you can take back to your membership committee and say, hey, I went to this training and this is what I learned, and these are some thoughts that I have, and this is how we can attract new members, and or this is how we can retain our new members and our because I'll be honest with you, new membership retention is a challenge. We lose most of our members within the first 3 years, so that goes back to that satisfaction. But anyway, I'll let you type and write and share with yourselves.
Put it in.
And for those that are done typing or and that kind of stuff, I did put a document from Club Express into the chat to share with you. This idea for doing this type of breakout sessions and this type of conversation is not necessarily mine alone. The document from Club Express is something that I think we can learn a lot from with respect to increasing our membership or growing our membership over the course of the year. So download that document, if you will, and at least spend a few minutes reading it. I've shared it previously, but probably not with many in this group.
Wow.
Naomi, I don't know if we can actually share this with everybody. Is it something that people can download? I don't know. I've not played with the whiteboard much. You're muted.
You hit the share button. But
Oh.
I think it would be good if you summarize everything from today's session and send it out.
I will try to do that. Are we done typing or? No, we still got.
I'm not sure if I knew what I was doing properly. I'm not sure what everybody else sees, but I see a lot of words jumbled and mixed up.
Yeah, so they're kind of typed over the top of each other and that kind of stuff, but we'll. So with respect to time, some of the ideas is to strategically hold mixers, lunches, and socials, including holding 4 club events quarterly. And that's for the entire club, and then has being small group events such as mini mixers. Another one is to acknowledge members for bringing a certain number of new members or guests. Once again, we have socials or projects with family involved. Yeah, family is important, and a lot of people are struggle sometimes with, yes?
I think that's really actually an unknown sort of big thing, picking up with Scott's little boy, is that, you know, when you go to a Rotary International, the thing that really impressed me is that all of the international leaders appear on stage with their spouses and their children and their grandchildren and their brothers and their sisters. It really emphasizes family. And the problem is a lot with many clubs is that in our clubs, even new members, they've got kids. They can't even come to every single meeting. So it's I think it's an interesting idea to also have things where kids can go and you bring kids in. And I know people do projects like Genki balls and the kids can do it and stuff like that, but that's something to always keep in mind, because if you want to get younger members, the problem is there's this age group where they've got kids and they've got school and they've got soccer and they've got this. So it's a matter of how do you, and the money, right? And the money and the dues and everything. So that's something to look at. How do you bring all that together?
Yeah, and even our own members with respect to what we typically term the family of Rotary, which is my brothers and sisters in Rotary. Yeah, exactly. All right, and then talent, having fun, that is absolutely a key. And we are strategically, in my club, strategically planning for more fellowship and fun and that kind of stuff as well. Small group socials, ask at meeting for volunteers to be a committee to suggest fun and fellowship events, fun socials with family and friends.
Yeah,
I think, I think service should be fun and that kind of stuff. So with respect to treasures, subsidizing dues by using reserves to keep dues low. Appreciate members that bring guests, recognition of new member sponsors, and position community service projects to appeal to potential members and lead them to participate. Agenda item to talk about the aspects of Rotary and put this on standard club agenda. Not being part of the conversation, one of the things that I would encourage you to explore with your clubs is, how do I utilize Rotary education, or how do I improve my knowledge base of Rotary of my club members? Do I make that part of the plan to do that? I don't know. Share to. Okay, I think I don't know if I'm doing it right, Naomi, but I tried to share. Maybe you can try it and back it up or whatever.
Okay, so I'm gonna convert this to PDF and then send it to you.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
So I'm gonna
Thank you.
close the whiteboard now, and then you can wrap up, where Randy can wrap up.
Yeah,
Is that okay?
sure. Wonderful. Thank you. So just my quick 2 cents. I do want to thank everybody for giving their time this morning. I hope it was of value to you, and it adds to your toolkit for increasing your membership over the course of the year. I will stay on the Zoom afterwards until we completely close it out, should you have any questions or want to talk further about it. Randy? We need to unmute you, Randy.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Win. Thanks, Naomi. Appreciate all you guys' efforts in putting this session on this morning. And, special thanks to everybody that showed up this morning because, we can't hit our membership goals if the key players are not participating in the training. Now, if you blew through the goals, your goals last year, and you're on a fast track, and I say clubs like the Eco Club, I just get out of their way and let them continue to do what they're doing. But I can tell you, of the 53 clubs that we have in the district, only 19 had a positive membership growth last year. So there should probably been a few more on the session this morning. That's why I very, very much appreciate all of you that did take time to be on the session this morning. And some of you that are on the session this morning had a very successful year last year, so it's even greater that you tuned in today. Just leave you with a couple of things. Obviously, one of Jennifer Jones' big push is membership. Her, like me, I agree totally that it's a combination of retention and bringing in new members. I think we know what we need to do. We just need to do it on retaining members, and that's making a member feel valued. And you do that, the best way you do that is through fellowship. So the more fellowship and socials you have, the tighter that glue is, and the tighter people are bound to that club. Friends don't like leaving friends. So even though they may be going through a tough time, they're super busy, whatever else they're going on in life. If you have that friendship, you want to keep that bind, that bound that you have with your friends. So it's the reason why fellowship to me is the most important element in retention. And the last thing I want to leave you with is whenever we're talking, inclusivity is, to me, the most important element that we have in the DEI breakdown. Because I think as a district as a whole, in my summation and opinion, we're pretty diverse and we're pretty equitable. Where some of the clubs can use some help at is being inclusive. And that's, clearly defining who's in your community and bringing those folks in. And I mentioned it at most of my district governor meetings with the clubs, that if you have a membership chair or leaders in your club that says, no, we don't buy into that. We're only interested in quality. We're not interested in quantity. I can just about guarantee you that's not being inclusive. Because what you're saying whenever you say that is you only want people like me, the one that's speaking, if I'm saying something like that. So don't get caught up in that quality over quantity thing, and kind of drill down on that. Is that person or that leader not being inclusive? And we do want it to be a very inclusive district in all 53 of our clubs. And You can hear Jennifer talk about that time and time again in just about everything she talks about. With that, again, much mahalo for y'all showing up this morning. I know it takes away from your Saturday, but what a great way to start a Saturday morning now, you know, with a little Rotary knowledge and a little bit of fellowship with fellow Rotarians. So aloha, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll definitely be talking again soon. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
And I will stay on if anybody has any questions or wants to engage directly.
Thank you, Randy. And I've thanked Conrad for giving us a very easy to understand schedule for our meetings. I'm passing it on to my board that way too. It's really helpful. Thank you.
Great seeing you this morning, Lila, as always.
Thanks. See you soon.
Kimo, what did you do to your head? Did you butt heads with someone?
What did
Who's
who
that?
do with what head?
Mark, yeah,
Oh,
Randy and I got into a head-to-head and I lost.
I noticed that on Facebook. I didn't realize that you had lost.
No, a little melanoma on the head, you know, but
Whoa.
it was not cancerous, so just a basal cell. So what can I say? I think they took a little brain out, but I'm all right.
You don't have much to spare, man.
No, I
Bye,
know, I'm
everybody.
down there.
bye, Randy. Thank you.
Hey,
Anybody
Mark,
have-
what's the latest?
Oh, God. You don't want to know. I'll see you later.
Okay, all right, all right.
Anybody
All right,
have any-
Win, I thought this was actually, I was thinking, oh God, another one of these, but this one was actually, was helpful. Because the one thing it's gonna make me do is I'm gonna go on my computer and redo my agenda. Because, you know, I have this piece of paper that says what you know, to run the meeting. And I'm going to put a couple of these things on the agenda, like acknowledging people. I mean, I have to confess that I'm not one that's that sensitive to acknowledging people. I sort of like get the work done. You know, why should I get an honor for what I'm supposed to do anyway? You know, because you know how it's the old thing is that if you do what you're supposed to do, people think you walk on, you know, you're just amazing. And if you do what you're really capable of, they think, oh my God. And I'm like, well, yeah, okay, I can do that. And
but I think that you say thank you on a regular basis in your normal daily life. And so rather than thinking of it as I am doing an honor, maybe it's just a simple thank you. And I think
Yeah.
that people just appreciate being
thank you.
thanked for what it is that they do. So it doesn't need to necessarily be a dog and pony show as much as, you know, hey, thank you, appreciate your time, appreciate your talent,
Yeah.
appreciate your treasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great point.
If-
That
you know,
we as
and-
leaders need to reach out to the members, especially, you know, volunteers are putting a lot of time in,
Yeah.
and we have to express that appreciation to them on a regular basis.
Yeah.
It's just a really strong, positive vibe. But I just want to say this was a good session. Thank you very much, Win and Naomi, for just doing a great job. I know you're missing Benson. Naomi, how do you function without Benson on these? But, you know, Win was a good stand-in, and thank you guys. It was great to be hanging out with you and talking membership.
So Kimo, before you leave, I just want to say, make sure that what you do, and I think one of the things for this session was, let's strategically plan. Let's plan for things rather than always just reacting when something comes up. Let's deploy our resources in a strategic manner so that we become more effective. Because doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results isn't going to work.
Yeah.
So we need to really deploy what we have strategically and efficiently.
You know, Win, I'm a retired financial planner.
Yeah.
So what I brought to North Hawaii, and I think Naomi is aware of this, is, we've got to plan these things out. And I said to the members of the club, kind of pissed them off, if you keep doing the same thing over and over, you're going to get the same results. So, I said that 4 or 5 times. They probably didn't like me for saying that, but it's basically true, especially when it, as Randy says, a bunch of white guys standing up there talking, that's really not the image that we want to portray going forward. So.
Well, also chemo, it's the old Girl Scout song, make new friends and keep the old, because when you've got the old white guys are valued resources. Now, sometimes they can be a little bit like, okay, but it's like you want to get the change, but not, it's got to be balanced, right? So and sometimes you have to drag people kicking and screaming. That's true.
One of the questions might be, do our senior members feel valued?
Yeah, you got it right.
Or are they feeling like, I'm old hat, I'm, it's all about younger people. I mean,
I'll tell you, one of the challenges is all of this social media and the computer stuff. I mean, we're all doing pretty well with it, but I'm telling you, it's like, oh, well, are you on Instagram? And I'm like, okay, are you on this? Are you on that? And then, maybe we could, I got to talk to my people about what's the best way to advertise. I mean, you can try to get in the newspapers, the little ones, especially on Oahu. You're not going to get in the Honolulu Advertiser, which that's not. And then maybe special ones on the TV.
I think it depends upon what you do, Adrian. I mean, when you look at, so Honolulu Club with their Centennial Park in the middle of Waikiki, they've certainly gotten some press and play. So so maybe what it comes down to, and it's just throwing out this thought, it's the quality of the project and the size of the project rather than how many projects that I do.
Well, that's a very interesting point, Wynn, because I was suggesting that we should do 1 project a month, and someone says that's not enough. And I'm like, then we have these little ongoing things where we have people say, oh, we're going to go do the food pantry, and they want somebody to go like every week. I mean, maybe 2 or 3 members can do that, but not the rest of us. I mean, some of us still have employment outside of Rotary. I mean, I still do.
Well, it's and I've got point with the time, talent, and treasure.
Yeah,
is how do we make the best use of our time to do more than what we're currently doing. I mean, that's really the thing.
Hey, Wynn, I'm going to stop the recording so you guys can talk freely.
Okay.
No, so you can talk freely. Okay.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. Aloha. Thank you.
That's all right.
That's all right. Anyway.